Alright. Message in general, link in the stream. That would actually be great, Zoe. If you could put a message link in the stream. So that way it's slightly less. Alright, thank you. It's now 10, so we're going to get underway with the cast. Make sure that the audio is looking alright. So, today we have a couple of groups curated by Sate Zero. We're going to be casting all the games that were in the groups at midnight yesterday for me, because that was when I last looked, and yeah. So, first off, we're going to be starting off with preseason. For the preseason week 1, we're going to be doing just the first group, going down the order. We're going to have 5 games from this group and get a little bit of everyone who's played so far. Our first matchup, I guess, is going to be, hold on, oh no. First matchup is going to be J-Sta versus Piggies Go Moo. As I had loaded the wrong replay onto Starcraft. But we'll just go ahead and hop right in and get started. We have a lot of games to work through today, and we're going to be very excited to see everyone see their skill going through the going into the CPL. Alright, let me also Group 1 fix the name now, since we are in Group 1. Happens, how did you... So, yeah, if you want to talk about how your preseason went in chat, go ahead, that'd be great. Mine went okay. I won a game, which is always nice to do. And we're going to go into this game and see which of these players won their game. Okay, and then 3, 2, 1. That's not okay. Oh no, I need to change the, again. I loaded the wrong game originally. Oh no. And then Jason 19. Okay. Everything is going completely according to plan. In the top right corner of Polypoid, we have Piggies Go Moo playing as the green Terran squad. And in the bottom right, we have J-Sta 19 playing as the brown Protoss tribe. Now, this is from Group 1, and apparently these are a couple lower level games, but we know we love to see it. I went 2-0, 1 draw because of no... So these are a couple lower level games, but we love to see it because sometimes you just it's nice to see you know, matches that aren't like hyper optimized, and you can just get to see a lot of personality from the players and how they focus, you know, in what exactly they focus on when they're at a sort of a lower level. It can be neat to see. So we're going to have a forward gateway here in the bottom from J-Sta, but other than that, nothing too unusual. Piggies Go Moo also is playing a very standard. It's getting their supply depot, their barracks, and then sending out what looks like it's going to be a scouting SCV. And they are going to be extremely lucky in first scout J-Sta. So we're going to have a bit of a... J-Sta's going to be in the dark for a bit longer. Piggies Go Moo will, of course, basically be able to immediately see everything that J-Sta's planning. Even though it doesn't look like there's anything too unusual going on. You see the cybernetics core go down immediately, and the top. Piggies is just still building a marine, getting their stuff ready. And this is just trying to maybe figure out what is going to keep, what pathway Jaysta is going to take in the game. There really isn't any feasible way to chase the SCV out of your base until a Dragoon comes out, but if you get a Zealot, you can pressure the SCV, or at least tax the micro a little bit. But it looks like Jaysta is not going for a Zealot in this game, and is instead just going straight into probably 2-gate Dragoons. See, so there goes Pigu's factory, and they've taken SCVs off gas, so it will be an expansion build instead of a pressure. First Dragoon's about to come out, and it should be timed just right so that as soon as the first Dragoon finishes, both gateways will be able to start the second Dragoon at the same time. See, is about where that is. Dragoon range is starting, and now this SCV should be either killed or chased out. Some very sick Dragoon micro keeps the SCV trapped in Jaysta's base, and that means he will be able to get the kill on this SCV. Meanwhile, Piggies is just getting an expansion. No machine shop yet, they're just going straight into a first Vulture. Jaysta's also going for a rather quick expansion, no tech yet. Both players are settling into their long game. Bunker is up, so now Piggies is completely safe from any Dragoon, mostly completely safe from any Dragoon pressure. And they're going Spider Mines, so they will be able to put out a lot of map control for at least a moment. Jaysta is going for a robotics facility, so observers will be probably far behind the SCV. Oh. Almost gets in, but the reinforcing Dragoon sort of catches him as he's trying to walk in. So again, the Jaysta's Dragoons are masters of the bottom right polyploid map. Okay. Kind of like this play, 2 Dragoons coming out to pressure the front, while 2 stay behind and defend from any possible harassment. However, actually this is still pretty good because Piggies went for Spider Mines first instead of Siege Mode, so it will be able to pressure, Jaysta will be able to pressure this bunker for a good bit. Yep, 5 more Dragoons are coming up. He's kind of saying, hold on, you don't have Siege Mode yet. And is sending all of his, rallying all his Dragoons up on us. So he's trying to inch forward and yeah, the Dragoons versus bunkers, getting them to line up correctly is one of his, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's very tricky, because bunkers, like shooting horizontally, they have maybe this much range. Bunkers shooting diagonally, they can hit this entire arc. It's, Brood War is weird. Or something increasing your voice volume. Alright, let's lower that down a bit, increase that up a bit, and hopefully the audio quality is still okay. Jaysta 19, getting their, getting their 3rd established, which is always, as your Protoss, you generally want to try and stay 1 base ahead of the Terran, or at least that's where you want to be in a comfortable position. Jace is getting their, or Piggies is getting their armories, their own, nope, that's not a command center, that's a starport. They're getting their 2 armories up, so they will have, the vaunted, the very powerful 2-1 upgrades very soon. Okay, Jace to very, like this little putting the Dragoon at the 3rd just to say, you know what? You can't, you won't be able to just send an SCV over here and build your command center. You're gonna have to bring at least 5 vultures. Piggies is assembling a very strong mech army, but none of the tanks are sieged, which could be unfortunate. They're just slightly out of position. An observer will get in. Oh, that is a speedy observer. And these hold position dragoons will be no match for these hold position siege tanks. 2 more factories are getting added on while Jasta is teching into their Templar tech. So we'll probably start seeing High Templars mixed into the army, or later in the future Arbiters. It looks like, okay, Jace is just now adding on their 5th and 6th gateways, which seems to be a little late. They're even getting their 4th nexus. Yeah, they're infrastructurally, they're doing pretty okay. Aside from only just now getting up to 6 gateways, they're getting up to 4 bases, which is really good. But they're also they're almost over 20 workers behind Piggies, so they won't really be able to take full advantage of their are these slow vultures? Oh, okay, vulture speed is just about to finish. But because Jasta is way far behind on workers, they won't really be able to take advantage of their extra bases. Now Piggies is going to just really march right on out. A whole bunch of tanks, a whole bunch of vultures, and I mean this is a very scary push. If Piggies can manage it correctly, it might be able to defeat this Protoss army. But the vultures run a bit too far ahead, and Jasta is just saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna start moving things across the map." The vultures do get in. They're going to try and find some damage here at the 3rd, but they won't be able to find any. They run into 3 dragoons and a cannon. They leave a spider mine on the ramp, and then the few survivors try to make it out alive. Looks like Piggies is sending an SCV to start their 3rd base. It looks like they're going to try to do it in the top left corner, which is, you know, it's a place to do it. It's a bit further out of the way, but Jasta's Dragoon is positioned to, you know, intercept this, and unfortunately, you know, the purpose of coming out to take this corner base would probably be to try and sneak the base, but the Dragoon will catch it, and so the benefit of a hidden base is greatly reduced. Let's see. Other than that, Piggies is just kind of staying back, macroing up, and enjoying their 5 factory production. Oh, they have ghosts. Where's the nuke? Okay, where's the nuke? They're getting locked down, so Piggies Go Moo has spent they've mathed this out. And we're gonna see some dragoons and bubbles here very soon, it seems like. Huge mine hit takes out a lot of dragoons. And yep, another comsat station, so still no they have the covert ops, but no nuke silos anywhere yet. And no ghosts either. Jaysta's army is a bit split up, so Piggies can pretty much go to the left or down and pretty easily clean up either of these two forces with their mech army. Okay, the 4th command center is almost done. Jaysta is continuing to macro up. They're building some more dragoons to supply their forces, and yeah, this is where they come in. Tank volleys completely shred the zealot buffer, and the few dragoons will have to retreat. Meanwhile, back at home, there's a whole dragoon party going on right there. Piggy's doing a great job of mining out or placing spider mines at all the sort of outlying bases to make sure Jaysta can't get too far ahead on those. Jaysta's still only on 6 gateways, it looks like. But oh, actually no, hold on. They have a huge gateway explosion going on in their 4th base. This is going to help a whole lot, because now they're going to be able to reinforce their army way faster than they could originally. However, Piggies is up on supply, and that's not a great position for you to be as a Protoss. You almost never want the Terran to be up on supply, because like pound for pound, all the Terran units are just better than yours. You generally, in this kind of situation, if you're Protoss, you want these supplies to be flipped. However, Piggies has spent all the game with nearly 20 worker advantage over Jaysta, and that is absolutely huge. Oh, we have the first ghost out, so we might see some very interesting play here. Oh, another mine hit. Yeah, these vultures are going to be able to completely shred this harassment of zealots. And it looks like Piggies will just be able to get their 4th base up completely safely. Jace is managing a massive Dragoon army, but without zealots here to buffer the tank shots, these will just get completely shredded by spider mines and siege tanks. Let's have a check on the upgrades right now. So Piggies is on 2-2 for their mech, so 3-3 is just about finished, while Chased is only on 1 attack. Oh. Looks like a Spider-Man dudded there. Looks like these Dragoons should be able to come up and at least clear this area for Jaysta. A lot of Zealot reinforcements coming up. You can really see the power of those 10 extra gateways in the 4th base. They can just, I lose a lot of units, I'll just reinforce them immediately. And Jaysta takes the supply lead and goes in for the kill on the technical 4th base of Piggies. Now Piggies is going to have to try and split their army up to try and defend this, but it looks like this this command center should just die. And there's a lot of SCVs in the process as well. So this is a great denial by Jaysta. And it looks like, I mean, honestly, they should also be able to clear up pretty much any of the army that tries to save this area. This is a lot of Protoss units for a high run. Some vultures are trying to come down. That is an unfortunate spider mine. Sometimes these things happen. It's the price you pay when everything you have does splash damage. And yeah, Piggy's just gonna keep trying to get this army back. Another unfortunate spider mine. This is the risk you take when you just roll the vultures up and lay down mines. Sometimes the mine attack radius does nothing. Sometimes it kills all your own units. Yeah, now it's very much in favor of J-Stuff. They have 5 bases up. They're over 80 supply above the Terran. Piggies is in a really rough spot. They needed that 4th base because now they're mined out at their main and their natural. It looks like they barely have gas income, so they're going to be drying up very quickly here. J-Stud playing a I really like this move. You know, sometimes if you kill a base, especially against Terran, and they have a lot of tanks still left over, it could just be like, you know what, do you have any other bases on the map? Because you can't run over there and save it. Piggy sends a bunch of tanks up, and they should be able to clear this army and maybe be able to reestablish this 4th base. But Jace does a lot of just units pocketed everywhere, and they can just kind of move them over into this high ground and just filter up here and attack. Ooh, an attempted attack on the 3rd. The army splits in 2 and is going to try to pincer this. A great storm does a lot of damage to the siege tanks because Psy Storm does energy damage? I don't know what the technical term for it, but it completely ignores armor, and that's really good when Terran units have a whole lot of armor. And this attack actually is going to punch through, and J-Sta will be able to... I don't know if they can destroy the 3rd base, but they definitely are going to... Actually, yeah, no, they're just going to straight up take the 3rd base, and then Piggies will be, completely lose their income. 13 zealots in production, ready to be rallied straight across the map. Siege tanks are trying to filter in from the 4th. Probably aren't going to be able to save it, and Piggies leaves the game, and J-Sta takes game 1. A very back and forth macro game. Mic could be a bit louder. We're gonna try. All right. Yes, so all the groups we're going to be covering today are lower to mid-tier groups. They were hand-selected by Sate Zero, so shout out to that guy for doing a great job. If that first game is any indication, we're going to have some fun games today. Our next match is going to be J-Sta versus Zeski. So let me go and get that set up. And we will hop right into it, I guess. Let's just go. Got a lot of games to get through today, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with all of them. Alright. Oh gosh, let me switch stream again. Alright. In the bottom right corner of Polypoi, we have Zeski as the Steel Gray Terran squad. Come here to avenge his brother, Piggies, to fight back the Protoss menace of J-Sta 19. This time leading up the yellow Protoss. Ready to go 2 for 2 in destroying Terrans on Polypoid. So there was a couple of rough bits. Of course, I should also note, I actually am not sure what order these games were played, but of the order that I guess the replays are kind of in, and that's going to be what we're going to use to craft our story here. Jasta says, you know what? I beat a Terran with Pylon Gateway in my natural. I'm going to do it again. Honestly, it does seem pretty good. It really limits how much damage like Vulture run-bys can do. And it kind of doesn't congest it too much. It definitely is an interesting variation. Usually you just see the gateways built in the main. But I think especially kind of at this lower level, the lost mining time of just sending the probe all the way out here to build your structures you don't miss it too much. Unfortunately, Zeski is not going to be able to get the first scout. The SCV runs out and he's going to find nothing. And then, really great positioning here, by the way, on the supply depot and barracks. This is great anti-zealot positioning where if Jasta was, for example, going 2-gate or just general zealot pressure, you can run the Marine up between the barracks and supply depot here and be kind of safe from it. It's very micro heavy, but setting this sort of a structural barrier up can really help defend yourself and prevent yourself from losing in a really embarrassing way. Looks like the factory's about to go down for Zeski as their SCV scouts the base. We'll see if they are going to be taking the SCVs off of gas. It looks like they only have 2 mining. I think that still would make this an expansion build, although I'm not entirely sure. I play Protoss. Jasta this game is not going for the 2-gate Dragoon play, but instead getting their robotics facility up as soon as possible. We might see a robo and some reaver pressure, or they might just be getting observers much faster to try and be safe. There's that expansion. The Dragoon will chase the SCV out. Probably won't get the kill. The SCV will see the Nexus and then continue to run. And he will escape with his life. But not if this Dragoon has anything to say about it. Nope. The Dragoon is ordered back. He must sate his bloodlust some other time. Okay, so bunker is going up in the natural Zeski, so we should see a command center fairly soon. Yep, there we go. So again, we're seeing a very similar pattern as last game with both players trying to just, tech up a little bit. Jasta, however, is going for... Okay, they're getting a shuttle, so they're definitely going for some sort of reaver drop or reaver pressure. Fly in, kill a bunch of SCVs, and fly out. And Zeski is going for siege mode and siege tanks first, instead of the vulture play that we saw from Piggies. So we're gonna see how the variations affect Jasta's play here. One Dragoon moving out, ready to poke at the bunker. And yeah, Dragoon won't be able to get much done here because the siege mode is already out. So he would probably just have to run away, or at the very least annoy Zeski to open up the Reaver being able to fly in from a corner or something and killing a bunch of SUVs. However, the engineering bay just finished, so we might see a bunch of missile turrets thrown down to help delay the Reaver, fight it off as much as possible. Meantime, Jace has added on another gateway. They started some Templar tech, so they're doing a lot. They're teching a lot faster this game than they did previously. I think they hadn't started their Citadel until they already had their third base, so they're definitely approaching this PvT with a much different style. And there's the Reaver. Well, there's the shuttle. It has the Reaver, so there is the Reaver. And it's going to be coming from the left of the base, so it probably will drop into the natural. And try to get a bunch of SCV kills here. That should probably work pretty well. Missile turrets are only up in the main, so there is an opening for the Reaver to drop off and get some work done. The Dragoons has a lot of vultures coming out to kill it, and they will get it and continue to move on as the Reaver is dropping, goes right into the natural, and well, it gets the siege tank. And it's going to try and fly straight into the main to help kill SCVs, but it's probably very low. Yeah, see it's... And Jaysta is just going to have to run it out of there, because I think even if it dropped to shoot at the SCVs here, which are glitching out on each other and having a dance party, even if it dropped there, even the vultures might have been able to kill it before it could get a shot off. The Citadel is down, but doesn't look like there's any Templar Archives yet. A second Reaver and a third Reaver is on the way, so Jace is going for a very like tech-heavy, technical army this game. They're going to want to be using a lot of these Reavers and just trying to be fancy with it, which is always fun to see. When Reaver shots go off, if they sometimes go off, and they go off really well. If we see 4 more gateways being added on, so we're going to be at a 6 count. Well, Zeski is still only on 3. We should see them add a couple more here very soon. And the Reaver is now, the shuttle is now taking the long way, and there really aren't any missile turrets that can deflect them if it comes just straight down. There's the one here and one here, so if Jaysta really tries to dive, they might get punished, but they could drop maybe in this little pocket here, get a couple of the fringe SCVs, and just fly out. Alright, let's watch this. If shuttle speed is completed, so... Alright, yep, he has a deep dive. The Reaver, the shuttle goes down, so the Reavers are going to have to try and... They're stuck here. And it seems they're completely locked in on that. Alright, oop. Looks like Zeski's starting to push out. Should be able to take the mineral. Actually, no, they're taking the 6 o'clock. So, and Jaysta really isn't in a position to try and punish this yet. They do have a lot of army, but they're playing very defensively this game. Observers are out. Trying to scout, see what Zeski is doing. However, if they try to run to the main, they probably will get shot down by the missile turret. Then, okay, third is now established. We'll probably see a transfer here eventually. Really great placement of the turrets here. And just moving the siege tanks out in general. Okay, heading on the 7th gateway. Alright. Jasta's 4th is going down, so they are still maintaining. They are still maintaining a bit of a base lead over. However, they still have plenty to mine at their main bases, so their probe count probably won't get a lot of saturation on this 4th base, but it's good to just have it. Dragoons are in position to protect from any vulture run-bys. It's good, because there's a good handful of vultures out on the map, looking around trying to find anything they can damage. Base well defended. Vultures lay some mines and run away. Ah yes, so we have the Templar Archives and the Stargate preparing, so we will probably see Arbiters this game. Server's going to try and get in. It will see the 3rd base here, and that might trigger Jasta to maybe try to do a Zealot run-by along the left side of it, since there really isn't anything here to defend. Very healthy factory count. Upgrades are coming along very nicely. Zeski is going to try and really force the issue here. If he can take this base out of the lead, very good. However, this is only a small force. There's a lot of gateways being constructed here, and there's a lot of reinforcements coming to help defend, so this base should be defended pretty easily. Even the probes are getting in on the action, doing their part. Ooh, big tank shot. Send a couple of probes, but ultimately the base holds. Movers are a bit late. Yeah, now Jasta rockets ahead with a 50 supply lead. Zeski tries to scan out at the front. They scan out the 4th base, see what Jasta has, and it definitely does not look good for them. Right? Looks like there's going to be a big drop at the 3rd. The Reaver is in perfect position. Fires a shot out. So we'll see how many kills. Reaver only has 5 kills, but it is continuing to use the probes. The command center will fall. Zeski is going to be forced into making a move. A huge push out here to try and take Jasta out. And I mean, I don't know if this will work. There's a lot of reinforcements, 7 zealots, 9. He has like 10 gateways, so you know, a lot of production on Jasta's side of the map, and they should be able to deal with this army. Maybe not easily, but they will be able to deal with it. Massive siege up. Zealots aren't quite melted, but they are going to start getting on top of the tanks. So the next wave should be enough to win. Yep, you can even see the reinforcements coming in from the 4th. They're going to be able to flank the siege tanks and completely take them out. Jesse's going to continue to push in. Vultures come to reinforce the army. Spider mines don't get much done. The tanks should start getting cleared up. And Zeski leaves the game. Jesta takes it. They're up 2 wins in this Group 1. I'm gonna make sure this is right. Yep. Yep. So, GG's on both of those. In the 2 games that we, 2 replays that we have for Group 1, Jsta won both, so congratulations, they played very well. Our next game will be Ami Neo versus Zeski. And we have games from Group 1, 2, 1 and 2, and 21 and 22 that we'll be covering today. In that order also. Should be about roughly 2 hours per group. And yeah. So we're going to be covering 4 groups today, all of like on the lower end to mid-tier of play. We're going to be taking a very short, like 30-second break here, and then we'll be right back. Dada, I'm gonna make sure that that I find what group you're in, and I'm gonna cast your games. That's a promise. All right. So we're gonna be hopping into our 3rd game now, which is going to be Ami Neo versus Zeski. I guess after the countdown. I think we're going to be looking at another TVP. Nope, that's not who this is. Ami. So apparently this group is just a bunch of Protosses and Terran, and for right now our Protoss in the yellow is Ami Neo, and our Terran is our returning Zeski as the Steel Grey Terran. Audio is still pretty quiet. I'm not sure do much more than that. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure if I boost my audio up anymore, there's going to be a lot of bad static, so We're gonna do it as is. Can't. This is what we got. Aminio's going straight for just the pylon and then the scout, not even waiting for the gateway. They want to know where Zeski is immediately. Zeski is setting up their supply depot, and we'll probably see the barracks put right there for the anti-zealot timing. Gateway on 9. And the probe is sticking around. So it looks like Aminio is going for the 2 gateway. Yep, we're going to see a 2 gate here. Aminio says, you know what, this is a preseason game. I want to end it early, and I want everybody to know what I'm about. And I agree. This is fantastic. You'll love to see it. Oh, but they also, well, they were getting an assimilator. Unless they canceled it. Zeski scouts in the wrong direction, so they will not see it coming. Pylon going up. Should see, yep, this first zealot goes into production. However, Zeski does have their anti-zealot barracks supply depot wall arrangement. And they will be able to, with the correct micro, defend this. But sometimes the Marines will do whatever they want. It can be very tricky to micro the gun boys against the sword boys. Oh, looks like the second gateway wasn't rallied over there, but Aminio gets right back on it. 2 more zealots in production. I don't know. Cross spawns, this actually doesn't look good. The factory is going to get up, and the first vulture should get out pretty in a reasonable time and be able to, you know, 1 vulture can theoretically kill an infinite amount of zealots. But again, this will come down to micro. Oh, and Neo is even getting an expansion behind this. Zealot walks forward, the Marines immediately run back. Oh, but the barracks is lifted, so their anti-zealot wall has been disassembled by their own hubris. But some really great micro, honestly, keeping a lot of these Marines alive. Zealot does get 1 of them, but first Zealot will die. But now they have to deal with the second Zealot, who is at full health. A really good micro here, running all the Marines back, just keeping them alive as long as possible. This Marine still has 2 more Zealot hits left before it will die. Oh, SCV is doing a great job of blocking him. Now the first vulture is out, and the 2 gate should be pretty easily defended from this point. You see, even Neo recognizes that and kind of running the zealots away. However, Neo does have their natural expansion almost completed. But Zeski's going for building a second factory. So they might try to respond to this with a really strong push. Zealot has to... He thinks he's like an SCV and is like, I need to build the Nexus, and just hits it a couple times, and that's not how that works. Zealots are going to try to come back in, do another hit, but there are 2 vultures out now. Zeski's going to be able to get both of them. Looks like Zeski actually is preparing for an expansion. I don't know about this. I feel like you could probably, if you're getting that second factory up, you could probably prepare a pretty strong push. Go into, maybe not kill the Protoss, but do a lot of damage. But we'll see how the math works out. Zeski sets up a wall. Do have a cybernetics core, so Dragoons are on the way. But yeah, their natural is so far ahead of Zeski's. Oh, and the Dragoon seems to be working off of a bad rally. It might be rallied in here, and the Zealot wall is freaking him out, making him scared. But he does eventually settle right in front of the pylon. Yep, Zeski's command center finishes. They'll start floating over. They have siege mode, and Vulture speed is on the way. Now the Vultures are going to start moving out and try to get some, at least some scouting done over here. They probably won't be able to get any damage due to the SimCity, the wall here that Neo has, and the couple of Dragoons that they have should be able to completely deflect these Vultures. Neo also has a robotics facility on the way, so we'll probably be seeing observers here to fully protect Neo from spider mines or to get one probe. Yeah. Engineering bay is going up. Have a probe overseeing the gas mining, making sure that none of these other probes are slacking. It's very important. Have your Taskmaster probe. The probe foreman has to make sure everyone's working correctly. He's just continuing, getting a third factory, macroing up pretty effectively, but they're a good bit. Actually, they somehow are ahead in supply over Neo, but is probably because Neo is getting a lot of infrastructure up. They're getting like another gateway, their robo, their observers. They're just getting a lot of probes. They haven't been building a lot of army. With the probe, with the observers in production, Neo feels comfortable enough to start running across the map. However, they probably won't find too much damage because there's, you know, siege tanks with siege mode. Those units are pretty good. Mine's at the top left base. Oh, mine's actually at all of Neo's next expansion. So, okay. Zealots come in, dive on the bunker, but the bunker stands. Looks like Neo's just going to keep rallying Dragoons over to try and, you know, fight, or at least keep Zeski in their base. Zeski doesn't really have the siege tank count to be able to, like, effectively push out and fight these Dragoons. So Zeski will be stuck on their base for a little bit. Neo's getting a shuttle. No Robo Bay yet, so it could be, might see something wacky with the shuttle, or the robotics bay will just start shortly. Up to 5 factories. So that's a pretty good, pretty solid factory count for right now. How did that tank get out there? That's unusual. Some more sieged. Just sieging up, trying to get out as slow as you know. Vulture gets out, hides in the bushes, might be able to run around and catch an extra base. Yeah, shuttle doesn't have any anything in it. There's no Robo Bay, so there might be some elevator shenanigans. We might see it just picking up Dragoons and dropping it in the main here, which could be effective. You don't see it a whole lot, so it's hard to. Zeski will have to micro their siege tanks back up the ramp. Right, here comes the shuttle. And there's nothing in it. So it might just be here to fake out the Reaver and scare. Nope. Picks up 2 Dragoons and flies over to the main. So we're going to be elevating Dragoons over this little patch here. Millions get on it. You can't just send 2 Dragoons in by themselves. Because even unsieged, tanks will melt Dragoons in small numbers. Yeah. Shuttle speed is starting, so you can see Neo is really maybe really considering the full completely moving the Dragoons up into the main. However, there just aren't enough Dragoons here. I think they've been trying to be a little too tricky. They forgot about that their macro has slipped, and now Zeski has a really large army, and his Putin is just, I mean, honestly, could probably just start marching across the map. Huge tank shots deal a ton of damage. Completely melt the Dragoon army. Set Neo almost back to 0. Yeah, Neo only has 3 gateways, so they won't really be able to reinforce it, and Zeski kind of just gets the whole thing. Neo tosses out a GG and leaves the game a bit prematurely, but yeah, I don't know. That seems to be a bit early. I guess Neo might have just been expecting Zeski to walk across the map and kill them, which it looks like Zeski was capable of doing, but they hadn't yet, so maybe a bit premature, but still a good game by both players. I like the idea of the shuttle elevatoring things into the main, but it usually doesn't work out so easily. So that was our 3rd game for Group 1. Our next match is going to be Piggies Go Moo versus Zeski. So this is going to be a game between our 2 Terran players. Everyone's favorite. TVT. Gonna have to, oh gosh, let me, alright. In the top left corner, we have our first Terran player that we saw today, Piggies Go Moo, playing as the green Terran. And in the top right corner of Polypoid, we have Zeski, our other Terran player, with the steel gray. Now, since this group seems to be all Protoss and Terran so far, the biggest number we have to work off of is that Zeski beat a Terran, beat a Protoss, and Piggies Go Moo didn't. But that just means that maybe TVT is Piggy's matchup. Or we're just gonna have a very long the standard very long TVT. Or both players go for 2-fac and this is over in 5 minutes. It's a very versatile matchup, TVT. I also know nothing about it because I play Protoss, and I will say, of the mirror matchups, Terran versus Terran seems like it feels the most playable. I don't like PvP. ZVZ I like watching, but I don't think I'd enjoy playing it so much. TVT seems like there's just enough weird stuff you can do in it that isn't like game ending. PvP, it's like there's a lot of weird stuff you can do, but all the weird stuff is cheeses and the game is over after you try it. TVT, you can do like 1-1-1, you can get Wraiths, you can go just 2-fac Vulture and spam those out until you're done. It's just super, it's very versatile in that sense. But so far, both players are kind of going for the same thing. Piggies gets the first scout out and is going to be able to clear this SCV, while Zeski is going to have to walk all the way across a full 360 degrees around the map. SCV will get killed here. Yep. And so he's really not going to know what's going on. Piggies is in fact getting a second Marine and a bunker. Okay, so he sees what's going on. Wait, is this? Oh, okay, Zeski is going for 2 factory. Alright, so we're going to see some pressure come out from Zeski, in which case the bunker and the Marines is probably a really great play. That's a super smart variation to say, hold on, I scouted you, I saw you. I saw what you're doing. I'm going to get really defensive. Because you get the 2 factories, you get vulture speed, and then you just pump vultures, I think, is how this build works. If this is the right build that I'm thinking of now. Wow, Piggy's is even getting like an expansion out, going ahead and immediately getting a vulture. Okay, we're gonna see what Zeski gets with their first, with their upgrade here. Okay, they started getting siege mode, but they were like, wait a minute, vultures can't siege, and they get the right upgrade next. And yes, so they are going to be spamming vultures, but Piggies has a really defensive line here. I mean, they have a bunker, they have the vultures coming out. That said, they are spending a lot of money on an expansion that the vultures, they can kind of just come up in here and kill. Marines don't do that much damage. And, gosh, 4 vultures already. This is such a weird, insane build. Vulture speed is almost done. Oh, he's getting mines, which is not what you want to be getting when your opponent is going mass vultures, which float and don't get hit by mines. He's also getting an academy, which is interesting. Alright, very nice transfer here. They'll start mining as soon as the command center finishes. We're going to see what Zeski, how this play works out for Zeski. Yeah, see, the Marines are doing a lot of damage, but they're not killing a lot of vultures. Wow, 4 vultures coming in one shot, and yeah, Zeski might be able to just completely run up the ramp, but it looks like a couple of vultures got stuck in trying to attack the bunker. All the Marines are going to die, and we're probably going to see even... Oh wait, no, vulture production stopped for a second as Zeski was getting their own expansion. Which is weird. I think if they had just kept with the vulture production and just really committed to it, they would have been able to seal the game in. Now Piggies has an opportunity. They're getting their mech upgrades, they're getting comsat stations, and they already have an expansion while Zeski's is just now finishing. And the trickle in of vultures that Zeski can throw just probably won't be able to do as much damage. They can lay mines down, but it's vulture v vulture. What are the mines supposed to hit? Oh, Zeski's even getting a starport very quickly, so we might see a lot of wraiths come out, which could work. There's no engineering bay on either side, so no missile turrets. However, Piggies does have an armory, so they will be able to be producing Goliaths, so... I mean, I said that Piggies had a bit of an advantage with their quicker command center, though they're behind in supply, and their worker count is surprisingly even, so Zeski kind of actually is ahead here, even with the slower expansion. They somehow did a lot of damage with that first vulture run by. the starport is up. I think for both players now. Yep. Piggies is in fact getting a command tower, so that probably is going to be for dropships. Not sure. I guess you could get into battle cruisers, but on 2 bases that seems really difficult. It's also 2 factory production for Piggies versus 3 fac for Zesky. So Zesky, given enough time, Zesky will be able to just outnumber Piggy's army. These Goliaths are just bullying the barracks away. If Zesky isn't careful, they're going to have to go and rebuild one. In fact, that actually might happen if this gets put into the red. And Zesky isn't able to get an SCV over to repair it. Yep, so it's started burning. Oh, and there is an SCV over here. Ready to repair it up. Okay, so crisis averted. The Goliaths kind of turb out and walk right into siege tank fire. Now the bunker's taking a pot shot, so it looks like Zesky is... No, they shouldn't lose that barracks. They've added on a 4th factory. Piggies has gotten their 3rd factory, and they're getting their 2nd armory up. So they're going to be way ahead on the upgrade game. A semi-fully loaded dropship is headed out. Does a wide berth around Zesky's army. Is probably going to try to do a drop in the natural to do some serious economic damage, because vultures just do that, I guess. Alright. Dropship's getting in position to do some economic damage, but Zesky's trying to get into a position. Wow, that can hit from the... See, why are siege tanks balanced? Look at that. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Yeah, Piggy is basically, they can't use any of this space right here because Zesky's already has their siege tanks set up. So they're just going to be able to pressure, was there an attempted drop? There was. It looks like it got cleared up by the army that was here, though. But yeah, if Zesky floats their barracks over here, they'll be able to completely shell this refinery and keep Piggies on only 1 gas. Which would be insane. Oh, and Piggies is trying to sneak a 3rd command center out onto the map here. Landed over at the 3rd. Okay, yep, and that's what, in fact, that's exactly what Zesky's going to do with this refinery. And Piggy's GG's, and Zesky takes the TVT. A very good, very skillful game. I mean, they went 2 fac and were able to get an expansion and just completely out macroed. All right, just completely out macroed and out positioned Piggy's army, which was stuck in their base for the whole game. So now, our last game for group that we have for Group 1 is Piggies Go Move versus Ami Neo. So we're gonna end the game on a end this group on a PVT. think, yeah, Zeski won all their games except versus Jsta. And so, yeah, so Zeski and Jsta both won 2 games this round, so I think we're going to go into our last game with, so at least Piggy's Gomu or Ami Neo are going to exit with 1 win for their preseason. We'll hop right into it, because, wait a minute, what happened? Whoa. Is the replay bugged? Piggy's Gomu, Ami Neo, okay. Okay, that was weird. It wouldn't let me. Didn't have an okay. And we'll get right into it. Again, once again, we're going to be on Polypoid, and we're going to see how it goes. Alright, in the top right corner of Polypoid, we have Ami Neo, representing the Teal Protoss tribe, back for revenge against the Terran menace. And bottom right, we have Piggy's Gomu, operating the blue Terran squad, back for revenge against the Protoss menace. Because no Zerg in this group, so the 2 races can only hate each other. Neo. It looks like neither player just want to do anything crazy. Starting out, gateway, and then a scout. Ami Neo is no, not a scout. Actually, no assimilators. Ami Neo going to 2 gate. Okay, just a bit of a delayed assimilator. In fact, Ami Neo isn't even going to scout, which means Piggy's is going to be able to scout. And they're scouting counterclockwise, which means they will be able to find Neo's base immediately. We're going to see how they want to play this from here. That said, it doesn't look like there's anything too surprising going on. No double gateways, no fast nexus, so nothing really punishable, but nothing to be scared of either. SCV's just gonna be chilling. Comes over, looks at some bones. And Probe finally leaves to go scout and see what the Terran's up to. SCV's just chilling, having a good time. Cybercore finishes, Dragoon starts, and we'll see the Dragoon range probably very shortly afterwards. And the SCV takes that as its cue to leave, because he doesn't want to die today. He doesn't get paid enough for this shit. The Probe, meanwhile, because it is a robot, it doesn't have to get paid, so it can be sent to its death in a hailfire of bullets. And it is perfectly happy. It does probably get vision of the refinery, sees there's no SCVs mining, so Ami Neo knows, can deduce about as well as we can that it is in an expansion build. And oh, the SCV tries to get in and runs away and doesn't want to die, doesn't get paid enough for this. But Neo throws out their Nexus. So So both players expanding, going to 2 bases, settling in for a longer macro game. Neither player wants to end this in a knife fight. Oh. Bit of a supply block here for Neo, but that should get remedied pretty soon. Both the Nexus and the Pylon are setting it up. The SCV once again. I think this is a different SCV. He is paid enough to deal with this and rides bravely to his death. Well, there's no bunker here, so the Dragoon will be able to poke. However, 3 Marines and a Vulture will be able to defeat 1 Dragoon, no matter how strong or brave it is. And oh well, the SCV's waypoint list is full apparently, and the Dragoon, they pass each other, and the Dragoon nods respectfully and lets the SCV run home. Yeah, Piggy's moves completely skipped on getting the bunker, so hey, it's 100 extra minerals. Aminio didn't really commit to any kind of pressure, so that was kind of risky, but Vultures are out. Yep, they have spider mines, so they will be able to, you know, basically completely control the map up until observers are out, which they will be here momentarily. We'll try to get up a bit, see the Dragoons run away. Actually, oh, okay. Okay, so 4 Dragoons doing a pretty good job of just kind of clear the spider mines. However, if they move even slightly up, they might be in a bit of trouble. Both players are staying on top of their worker production, so that's doing really good. And again, another bit of a supply block here for Aminio. It's unfortunate, but these things happen. Oh. Dragoons wandered into the spider mine and exploded, unfortunately. Tanks are out, so he's assembling a very strong force. They also have 5 Marines, which is slightly more than you would normally expect. Neo's still on 2 gateways, Piggy's is still on 2 factories, so yeah, both players are kind of just teching up more so than building their immediate army. Servers are now coming out, so Neo will be able to push out onto the map. And they're also getting a robotic support bay. So we'll probably be seeing some Reaver flybys. However, we have some missile turrets in good positions to kind of deflect them and make it so that the Reavers will have limited use. Or at the very least, we'll have to commit to getting dropped off and then dying. I'm seeing their 3rd base. And they're getting Scarab damage. Yes! Maybe someone else knows, but I don't even know how much extra damage Scarab damage adds to Reavers. I think it's like 10. I think it adds like 100 damage. I don't even 20. It's just you never see this upgrade, so I just assume I don't know. Maybe it's good. I mean, if it can go from like, I think it's only 25 though. We will see. the Reavers are coming out, so it will be able to one-shot SCVs hard. And a big push out, but there's no Zealots here to buffer for the Dragoons, and they start just getting melted. Get a couple of Marines, but siege tanks will make that engagement favor the Terran 10 times out of 10. Dropship is doing a huge wide berth. Looks like 4 vultures. And so Piggies, it looks like both players are just going to be prepared to drop each other. But that probably will favor Piggies because there's no static D in the base of Neo, while the base of Piggies has a good number of missile turrets set up. He's also getting their own mineral only. And here comes the drop. I guess we should also note Piggies is about 10-ish supply ahead of Neo, which again, in PvT, you never want the Terran to be above the Protoss in supply. Oh, Dragoons try to dive in on the tanks. They glitch out for a second and miss an attack cycle, and they completely get melted. Their self-preservation kicked in, and they were like, "Wait a minute, was this really the move?" And the entire army of Omni Neo is melted. 4 vultures dropped off at the 3rd of Neo. Oh, well, Dragoon should get a tank, but it will probably get killed. Oh, it actually finds a perfect wedge on the ramp to pressure the base from. A lot of vultures are just very scared of the Dragoon on the ramp, and it looks like the vultures got picked up by the dropship. Nothing for the Zealots to die to. But Piggies will secure their 3rd base, and the entire army of Omni Neo is completely reset. They only have 2 gateways to rebuild it. And this vulture drop here is probably going to be very good. I'm not going to say it's a finishing blow, but it's going to be able to have completely free reign on these probes until these 2 Dragoons are finished, which, even though it's a couple seconds away, it feels like an eternity when you have probes trying to fight vultures. Oh, man. Yep. Piggies now has doubled the worker count of Neo, and they are going to continue building SCVs. A couple of gateways are added on a little bit too late. And yeah, I mean, wow, Piggies has triple the supply of Neo at this point. You want to talk about the Terran being ahead of supply, being ahead of the Protoss? Their Terran having doubled of the supply, being ahead of the Protoss? No, we're in a position where they had triple the supply of the Protoss. So, definitely an unfortunate situation for our Protoss, teal hero unit Protoss. But unfortunately, Piggies does have the player color on their side. Stargate is going up. Omni Neo might try a Hail Mary and just go into carriers from here. Actually, no, might be Arbiters. They have the Citadel, but no Templar archives even constructing yet. Yeah, it looks like Piggies is just going to be able to march across the map with this massive mech. I can't think of a 3rd M word, so we're just going to go with Army. Okay, mines go up, weaken the Dragoons a bit. A couple siege tanks siege, but it will be enough to finish off the last couple of Dragoons. Another spider mine slides over and explodes. Piggies is only even on half power, and is toppling Neo's army here. Neo's quickly trying to regroup. They have 5 gateways up now, so they are grouping a bit faster. They're getting a lot of probes to try and cushion the blow, but it looks like Piggy's army is just going to be able to run in and take them out. Both have 1-1 upgrades. Neo doesn't have any upgrades, so the Terran army is going to start shelling the outer layer of Neo. This should be the beginning of the end. Vultures come up here, they're going to be able to get all the probes into space, as these siege tanks make it impossible for Neo to even try to defend that area. And you can see the long blue line of just like a river trickling up into the Protoss base. Neo GGs, and Piggies will take the game.